Now let's talk about water and tanks and dumping and the whole plumbing system. Let's take a look at what you've done. Hello everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're going to talk to Jim again. Jim's an expert on so many things. We talk to Jim a lot. He's kind of taken over. We have to start paying you. And so we're going to talk today, we're going to continue our conversation on boondocking in an RV. There's so much to cover, and we're covering it, I think, really well, so it took a little too long in the first video. So today we're going to pick up with some of the rest of the questions and answer the rest of your questions on today's video. So Jim, welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, when I go to an RV park, I hook up my hoses, so I have fresh water coming in, and the black and the gray are going out. And so I'm solving the whole plumbing issue. Now, Jim, how do you deal with that as a boondocker when you don't have anything to hook your hoses up to?
Well, the first thing is all RVs have tanks and waste tanks. So you're going to have a certain amount of time that you can be out here in the boonies and just use what you're equipped with to stay out here, and there'll be you'll find out real fast how fast the black tank fills. I'll tell you that. Beyond that, when I run out of water, first I take more water than my RV can handle. I have 7 of these that I take with me. I fill these with fresh water. I'm not allowed to carry them, so I have a small pump that I pump out of these and into my fresh water. When I do go into town without the RV, I just set these in the back of the truck. I fill them up, come back the truck up to the port on the RV and pump them into that. On the black tanks, I bag my toilet, so that it takes a lot of water to flush your toilet. And so I bag it for feces and separate the urine. I'm a guy, I get to use a bush. And then
So when you say bag it, you mean you're not using the toilet anymore? You literally put a bag inside the toilet?
I put a number 4 garbage bag inside the toilet, and and I use a container to catch any urine, and I take the poop and the toilet paper out and tie it off and put it into a 5-gallon bucket with a, what do they call that lid?
Gamma.
With a gamma lid.
Uh-huh.
And it is, number one, without the pee and the poop being combined, it doesn't smell nearly as bad as you would think.
Right.
And then the gamma lid really contains it. When I go into town, I don't smell the poop bucket. I don't smell it until I open it up to get rid of it at the dump.
I imagine that's kind of fun.
It's a fact of life.
It is a fact of life. We all poop and it all stinks.
Yep, and people clean out their litter boxes and never think about it. They deal with their kids' diapers and never think about it.
Right.
We're just touchy over our poop because we're used to it going down in a big swirl of water.
Right. Exactly. People complain to me all the time. You can't be putting your poop in the landfill. Well, I put my dog's poop in the landfill. I put my baby's poop in the landfill, and that's not the end of the world.
Yep. And I know of people that actually do use diapers to wrap up their poop and stuff like that, and it just happens. It's a fact of life. I don't expect people to watch me do it, and I don't expect other people to handle it for me. But it's just a fact of life. It just happens.
It just happens.
And Max's poop goes in the bucket too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, it's no big deal.
Right. And by not using the toilet that way, it doubles my gray water capacity for showers and dishes and things like that.
So you have combined the black and the gray somehow?
I do what's called equalizing. When the gray gets full, I go out and pull the valve, and then I pull the black tank valve, and it just equalizes.
One flows into the other.
One flows into the other. When the gray gets full again, I do the same thing, and it equalizes again. And that gives me the ability to hold twice as much in one trip. Um, when when I can't take the RV in to dump, I have this 25-gallon Blue Boy. I have a 12-volt pump. I put the Blue Boy in the back of the truck, pump the gray water into it, take that to the dump.
So you could your trailer. So if you were on the LTVA, which means you paid and you can stay there for 7 months, you could leave your trailer sitting there for 7 months and not move it.
First, I can leave it there indefinitely and not have to move the trailer itself.
Right, just because of the Blue Boy. Now, a lot of people are probably not familiar with the Blue Boy. Can you give us an idea of what that is and how it works?
A Blue Boy is a portable waste tank. And generally, if you don't do like I do, you use a macerator pump that chops up anything solid, paper towel and poop.
For your black tank.
Or toilet paper in the black tank and pumps out the gray tank. And you just pump it out, and you take that to the dump station and put a hose in and open the gate on the Blue Boy, and away it goes. And you rinse it out, and you're done.
So even if folks at home are using their black tank like a black tank, they could still do the exact same thing.
That's right.
Your RV can set indefinitely and never move.
That's right. And for people that are at LTVAs and such, there are what they call honey wagons that will come out and pump out your tanks for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not real interested in paying somebody to do what I can do, so.
Right.
And they're not going to come out here either.
No, they're not coming out here, that's for sure.
They go to where there's a lot of RVs and they can pump a lot of tanks.
Right. So really, handling the black and the gray is no big deal, and the fresh.
Nope. Once you get used to dealing with it, it's easy.
So you do use your shower.
And
it just goes into the gray.
That's right.
And the big thing that we should tell everyone out here in all these areas is conservation is key.
That's right.
Don't use it, then you don't have to replace it or haul it off.
Right. And my shower, I shower on a regular basis, maybe not every day. I don't do strenuous activity every day, but I take Navy showers. And I keep the flow on the shower head very low, and I use only as much as I need. And same when I'm doing my dishes. I don't sit there and run the tap constantly and big sinkfuls of hot soapy water. I wipe out my plates and pots and right after I'm done using them, and that way I use as little as water as possible to do my dishes.
Right, so conservation, when it comes to plumbing, conservation is the key. Just don't ever use it. You don't have to go get more or haul it away.
Right. It's a very house-like experience, except I do some things to conserve as much as possible.
Right.
I also carry 100 pounds of propane, 230 pounds and 220 pounds, and that easily, even in the winter when I need my furnace, that easily keeps me going. The solar extends it because I can cook with solar and heat my hot water with solar. But I can't run my furnace on solar. Not the heating part. I can run the fan.
So if you can legally be there, you could go indefinitely, other than food and water. You'd have to go and get food and water.
Well,
eventually propane.
Well, the trailer can sit indefinitely.
Right.
The truck is the supply line.
Right.
And I can stay out here for a month at a time without doing anything, and then pump the Blue Boy, take my water bottles, pick up food, dump my trash, everything I need in one run, and come back out here for another month if I was allowed to stay. On public land that doesn't happen, but as you said, on places like the LTVAs, I could stay there the whole time and never hitch up. And I did buy a 12-volt freezer. Fresh food is an issue, so I augment it with frozen meats and frozen vegetables, and I make my own bread. I use powdered milk. Nido powdered milk is very good. There's an answer to every issue that we can come up with, and in over 30 years I've worked almost all of them out. Probably not all, but most of them.
Right. Yeah, it's obvious that you have, and that's just that's that inquisitive mind that is looking for a better way.
Well, if there's a need, there's a way to fill it.
Right. Right.
I do, since I do such extreme boondocking, especially in the Rocky Mountains, I use multiple services for internet, and I use boosting equipment for my signals and antennas and things like that. At one time I had a company, I had to be connected, and well, now it's my entertainment. There's no TV signal out there, so I stream all my videos, and I like to get on your website and talk to people there. And again, there's an answer. There's a way to figure it all out, and without spending a fortune.
Right. So folks, I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, like us on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And remember, you can do this. You can do this. This is not some difficult, hard, complex thing. Each and every one of you, I think, can find a way to make this happen for you. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.